and cold as the clay. I see by your outfit that you are a cowboy. Hey, Big Green, grab that #1 spot today, pal. Nice. Couldn't have been Susan facilitating it, right? Probably the Discord. Who knows? Wow, maybe Susan. No. And Wolverine and Berries and Oink and Marret and Katasan and Mad Max and Spazdev and Misag and Fluffy and Mr. Badlands. Mr. Badlands is so afraid his timbers be shivering. I almost said your shivers be timbering. It's free for all Friday. Anything could happen. Robert's here and Lude and Licks. Wow, we got the mod squad is on board. Croc is here. Code Puppy. Our favorite Ginger, Kendra, and Maximus. Hey, Coltonius. Good to see you, pal. Jared's in. Valorex. There's a funny joke, Curtis. Yeah, it was Discord. I figured it'd be Green. I figured it had to be a funny joke that it would be Susan. Hey, Arthur. And now today, if you guys can help me remember, I wanted to. I've told you guys for some time I've been putting together some material. I'm thinking of doing some shows again, doing comedy shows. I have a setup here I wanted to run by you guys when a few more of you come in, if Susan graces us with notifications, and just wanted to get you guys' feedback on it. I know it's weird because I'm not performing it as stand up, but I just wanted to give you the material and see what you think of it. Oh, Kata-san says, today I poop blood. Should I be worried? You should be worried unless you have a reason to be pooping blood. I don't want to get into your personal life. If you've done something that might have irritated the area, probably not a big deal. If you haven't, probably a big deal. Lick says, you need to sell me on staying here right now. I'm just going to go back to watching flaccid giraffes. Is there a flaccid giraffe watching, Licks? Is that well covered on YouTube and stuff? Yeah, I will, Maximus. I'll do it real shortly. I'll just give it another minute or so. Sometimes, you know how it is, Coltonius. Sometimes Susan, on the days that she does give notifications, sometimes it's a couple minutes in. So I'll just give it a couple minutes more, and I will definitely hit you guys with it. I'd like to see what you guys think. What do you mean by new Curtis Candy videos, Misag? Yeah, those. The YouTube shorts, those there'll be definitely be more of. I meant to do one yesterday. I got tied up doing shit, and I can still make that one today. It's still topical enough. Arthur says every few months I try Linux and it pisses me off. To what? Just not user friendly enough. Looks says there's a whole special dedicated to straightening the flaccid giraffes. I like it. Oh, Lud says, Curtis, I have some sad news for you today. Tough times. It's been 2 days now, and I've simply had to make my peace with it. The second vaccine shot did not, in fact, give me a second penis. I can sympathize with you, brother, because I went through the same thing. I thought for sure I was going to get a superpower. I was thinking Ultra Instinct. I was going big time. I thought it was all over. I was taking over the universe, and I got shit. I got the same fucking stupid face I've had all along. Nothing new. Dragon says, what does NASA stand for? Need another 7 astronauts. Rosa says, did you hear, Curtis? Susan Wojcicki got hospitalized just 10 minutes ago. She's incredibly ill. She sent me a notification 6 streams in a row. She might be really bad here. That's concerning, Rosa. That's concerning. That an error of that magnitude. Yeah, it can only mean there's serious cognitive damage there. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Spaz. Debbie says I'm extremely sick right now, so hopefully the stream will make me feel a little better. Oh, that's too bad. Hopefully it's nothing that's going to be long-lasting for you. which is why I definitely got screwed over. Oh, it's just, well, we all know. I mean, the notification system, of all the many, many things that are just entirely broken with YouTube, there's nothing any more so than the notification system. And the thing is, how you guys know, you guys have been with me here and you've been perusing YouTube for years. It's been this way basically since they installed the notification system. It's always been like that, and they do nothing about it. Excuse me, guys. Except deny that there's problems with it. That they do. Mr. Croissant says, Susan knows I've started college, LOL. POS, this might be one of the only live streams I make for a while. I already have 12 quizzes due by September 5th. Jesus. Wow. By September 5th? Yeah, because that's, what, we're talking 8-9 days? Holy shit, dude. No, I understand. God damn. I'd have quit. Yeah, this ain't working at that level. No mo. Or ever. Dragon says, I wish WWE would do more with Walter Down in NXT UK. I'm not familiar with him, Dragon. Good worker, is he? I'm not familiar with him. I don't watch nearly as much wrestling as I would like to. Arthur says, next post. He says, yeah, it's a headache. Too many dependencies and overly complicated processes for basic tasks. I want to switch to it permanently because of Windows privacy violations and stupid updates. I've never messed around a lot with Linux, Arthur. Too many dependencies and overcomplicated processes. Yeah, that would get to be a drag, though. If a literal drag, if it's dragging you down constantly, your time and energy expended to do the simple things. Zeno says, hi, Kyle. No, Ken. Kyle what? I can see the future. Kyle what was also a great line. God, that it just brings back, the I can see the future, Kyle what, all of that. It just brings back such fond memories of all of us, watching that stuff together and me first starting to take an interest in anime. God, great times. I mean, really great times. Lick says, my second COVID jab fucked me up real bad for some reason. Maybe it was because I went on a heavy drinking binge like an hour after I got it, but that ain't going to stop me. Well, the only thing I can say about that, Licks, excuse me, from everything I've read, if you have a bad reaction to the second shot, it's just because your immune system works really, really well. Because that means your immune system was fighting. So I guess, from what the doctors are saying, if you don't have a big reaction to the second shot, it still works, but it might be an indicator that your immune system isn't all that robust if it didn't put up much of a battle. Barry says, last post, if sick Susan showed it, used the bad word. I don't know. Let me see, Barry's. Yeah, you're there. Although it's a FFAF, can we have a sidebar about the 12 service members killed and others wounded in Kabul? As always with any stream, and particularly Free For All Fridays, you guys are welcome to talk about whatever you want. I don't want to get in directly push into it too much, just because push into it. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to have a stream devoted to that really soon. The only reason we didn't today is because it's Free For All Friday, and I can't miss our Free For All Friday. But you guys are welcome to talk about whatever you want. Let's see. Arthur says it wouldn't take much time to go through DBZA again. Yeah, it was such a great ride. It really was. Hey, Chrome. Yeah, and she's right. I tried going through it again on YouTube, and they weren't just not interested. And again, there's no shortage of things I enjoy watching, reacting to, videos I enjoy creating. So given that, I just wait and see you guys' or the overall responses to things, and that's how I determine what to keep posting. Yeah, like Big Green says, you can talk about whatever you want. Yeah, I know, Rosa. You had me in the first half. I ain't gonna lie. She says, I saw Curtis's face deteriorate into actual concern while reading my message, and then turn to enjoy when he read the punchline right. Okay, hey, we got a little group here. Guys, again, for anybody who just came in, I'm working on material. A lot of the material is stuff that I already have confidence in. I've used it in the past and it's good. But a big hunk of it is going to be new material. And I just want to read you. I haven't really refined the even the performance elements of it yet. But I wanted to go over this material with you, and I just want you to let me know what you think. If you think it sounds funny, if there's some things that work, some things that don't, if you liked all of it, whatever. But here it is. It leads into actually another, a longer story. But here's the bit. I went to school in a very rural place. And by rural, I mean if you said library instead of library, you was an uppity know-it-all. And to this day, if you tell Siri to take you to the address where I grew up, she just plays dueling banjos. And then Siri will say, in 42 minutes, you will reach your destination. In 44 minutes, your disappearance. And when I was a kid, on the edge of our property, we had this power pole. And it was leaking radiation like water through a soup strainer. I mean, if you stood near the power lines, you could actually hear them going zzz, 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 raining down little cancerous fairy dust on all us kids playing below. So standing under those power lines was like having your own personal x-ray machine. I fell down one time, thought I broke my leg. My mom drags me over to the power pole. It was zzz, zzz, zzz. She looked at me. She goes, nope, you're good. Everything's intact. My friend David, he had a fascination with that pole. He was always playing underneath that power pole. He hit puberty at age 7. By age 10, he was a superhero. I mean, the rest of us were discovering BB guns and shooting bugs with them, and he was picking off spiders from 30 feet with laser beams from his eyes. Needless to say, back in the day, my school wasn't exactly a melting pot of racial diversity. If we had had a melting pot, it would have been comprised solely of vanilla pudding, mayonnaise, and whipped cream. That's the material. What do you guys think? David was the true king of the fairies, loved his poles, Chrome says. Fuck David. But that's, like I said, I haven't even refined that, as you can tell, because I had to read it. I haven't even committed it to memory yet. And once you do, that's when you really start to perform it. But that is the base material. It'll morph a lot by the time I actually perform it on stage. Thanks, Maximus. I give it David out of 10, Big Rain says. Does the power pole extend? Nicholas says, hey Curtis, I was talking to Mitsuku, and she asked me how was life in sunny Nazi Germany. Mitsuku did? That's surprising. She doesn't usually do shit like that. David fucked that Goliath right up. Masag says, it was always a question for me that why U.S. government separates ISIS and Al-Qaeda and Taliban from each other. They're all the damn same. Yeah, but a lot of them hate each other too. That's the thing, Masag. I think that actually makes it more complicated. I don't know if they were operating with one goal, it might even be easier. Probably more terrifying though. Gimster says, since it's Free for All Friday, Gargura for a while now has become the #1 subbed VTuber in the entire internet. Really? At 3.27 million subs. She debuted a year ago. Wow. 3.25 million in a year? Holy shit. Well, I guess it is what it is. I guess I just gotta make a VTuber design. Is there any way we can make this voice sound cute, high-pitched, and Asian? That's gonna take some work. Samuel says, Anime Talk. After K and Plunderer, I watched The Day I Became a God, which made me cry both with laughter and sadness. Really? Just finished the Asterisk War last night. Now I'm on to Cautious Hero. Yeah, because you had brought up some of those titles before, Sam. Well, I haven't. Those are all interesting to me. I know some of the gang here is familiar with the titles. I'm sure Chrome will be. But those I just don't know. The Day I Became a God, Asterisk War, and Cautious Hero. Or Overly Cautious Hero, that one I do know. But the others, yeah. something that makes you laugh cry with both laughter and sadness. Though that's up my alley. I again, anything that hits the emotions hard. Barry says Al Qaeda hates ISIS because ISIS is Al Qaeda copycats, and ISIS hates the Taliban because the Taliban had the idea to overthrow Afghanistan before them. Chrome says, don't know. I'm not a character modeler. My focus is on environments, but I could probably pull something off. Yeah. Oh, that would be such a vicious, vile trolling to have people unwittingly become fans of a cute little Japanese VTuber and then find out that it's this face behind it all. That's pretty good, Krusty. He says, if Russia is the motherland and Germany is the fatherland, is World War II just domestic violence? LT Hennessy says, hey, if you could you actually go to say, no, we talked about that a million times already. We discussed Egotus, and probably not anytime soon anyway, not until I feel a lot better about our chances of not battling a strike. If Filthy Frank came back, would I react to him again? Absolutely. I'd have to see what Frank is up to, yeah. Last I knew, he's not. There's no even talk of anything like that. I don't think Joji will ever do that character again. I mean, I could be wrong. Lick says, just take the Satan model. Oops, I'm sorry. Put it in a Japanese schoolgirl outfit and give it a Hatsune Miku wig. It might work. That'd be pretty hot. Get it because it's Satan. Okay. Hey, VSS. Good to see you, pal. Sitting at work in the sun here. The hell? Oh, it was two things came at once. I was going to say, what the hell happened to my headphones? Sitting at work in the sun here in Soviet Stan, a.k.a. New York City. P.S. Have you looked at any Razor Fist? Razor Fist sounds familiar. Or Sethzine Tak content yet? Enjoy the rubles, Comrade New Yorker. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. You got me curious. Now I got to look. Razor Fist, I think I have. Razor Fist sounded familiar. Let me double check. So you guys know how good my memory is. That last video I just posted to the Goose proves how good my... What the hell? Why am I not finding? Where's... Oh, Rageaholic. Okay, here he is. I haven't watched him. I am familiar with him. I have seen some of his videos. Afghanistan, fiery but mostly peaceful. That's a pretty good title. Razor Fist Arcade, Batman Vengeance. I haven't watched any yet, but if I did, I would start with the Afghanistan fiery. Jesus Christ. Fiery but mostly peaceful. Let me grab this other one. Sethzine Tak. Let me copy that down and take a look. But yes, Razor Fist I had heard of. And I had seen some of his videos like on sidebars and stuff. I do like this Sethzine Tak. His the channel description that comes up is just I do it for the money.
Hey people.
All right, let's see. Amazing Cultivation Simulator Review. Wow, he doesn't post often, does he? 1 month ago, then 5 months ago. The Nation's Review filler episode, Pharaoh Review. No, I haven't seen anything of his. Razor Fist, like I say, that was familiar. I knew I had at least heard of him and seen, not watched actual videos, but seen some of them listed. Philip says, the VTuber market is a little oversaturated. Oh, I'm sure. Between HoloLive and VShojo, which is more or less dominating the market, then you got the plethora of independents of varying quality. Yeah, I mean, we joke about it, but I'm sure it must be, Philip. I mean, when something takes off to any degree, and certainly VTubing took off, typically that's what happens immediately, is it just gets absolutely annihilated. Yeah, I'm sure it's got to be just scores of people doing it. Zeno says, topic, Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. Prediction. My prediction is for Tyron to win by knockout. Screw Jake Paul. I would agree with your prediction there, Zeno. Excuse me. This isn't a Ben Askren situation. Tyron Woodley can punch you in the face. So yeah, I completely agree with that call. Really? Nicholas says, hey, Curtis, I actually got the book version of A Clockwork Orange, and the main character in the book is more messed up than in the movie. And that's that's going some. Because that character in the movie was pretty fucking messed up. That's cool. Gimster says, speaking of VTubers and trolling, Nux showed he can destroy an entire stream by simply saying hi. He says it's racist against him because he's so pure-hearted and wholesome, he calls it Nuxism. Nux. I like Nux. He cracks me up. Nux is a good dude. Masag says, I really can't take an animated face with a probably fake voice behind it. I like to see an old bald man doing reaction videos. Wait, I think I know one. Be careful. So you know what they say about those old bald men. I mean, what do they say about those old bald men? Henry says, hey, Curtis, do you think that in 2024 it will be Trump versus Kamala? Because Biden seems really old mentally and physically. Oh, he does. He seems beat. And I honestly can't see him running again in 3 years. He might be dead by then. Yeah, I agree with you on the latter part of that. I don't see, if Biden survives his current term, and by survives I don't mean necessarily pass away. If he's still president throughout his term, that would be a mild surprise. But I don't think he's running again. Do I think it'll be Trump versus Kamala? I think the Democrats are kind of cornered with Kamala. They cornered themselves with her. I don't think, at least at this point, they want her out there. Her poll numbers are just horrific. I don't know why they are surprised by it. Her poll numbers were horrific within her own party when Joe picked her. I don't understand what they thought was going to happen. I'm not convinced Trump gets the nomination. I think he's definitely the favorite. A lot depends on what happens between now and the 2024 season. But I think DeSantis has a shot at him. I think Nikki Haley has a shot at him. It's hard to say that, it's still far enough off, and we certainly know how quickly things change. I mean, look at what happened with Biden in this whole absolutely horrific incident he created in Afghanistan. His poll numbers have just died. They just dramatic dips. I mean, and when you compare it to the same polling companies, the polling company that had run a poll, say, 3 weeks ago, and he was plus 12 for approval, is now having him at +1, -2. I mean, it's been huge. So you never know in politics. You just don't know from day to day who's going to have a chance to do what. I don't disagree with you necessarily, Code. As bad as Sleepy Joe is, I think Kamala is a little bit worse. If we're talking about being competent, I can't tend to disagree with you. I was, to be honest with you, I was shocked he picked Kamala just because what we're talking about, numbers. In the primaries, she was taking a beating. Nobody in her own party was supporting her. I think she was at like 3%. And I don't understand if he took her because of wanting to have a black person on the ticket. I don't understand that strategy because Joe Biden does really, really well with black people anyway. It's not, in other words, he didn't pick somebody who was likely to bring in voters that were on the fence. He picked somebody who appeals to the same basic demographic that he did, for the most part. It was a really odd pick to me. Wayne says, I got my second vaccination shot today, so I can finally get back to the gay sex parties. That's what's important. That's what's important. David says, fuck Trump. Oh, well, okay. there's there's a random interjection for you. Chrome says, let's see. Lolly with ginger afro with gray highlights. L like eye bags and black sclera with pink irises. Yeah, we could pull something off. Gothic Lolita with psycho eyes. Just that description alone has me just, well, it's got me a little terrified, Chrome. I was surprised too. We talk about the things we tried at the channel and didn't really get a lot of reaction. That was true with the Satan character. I thought the Satan character was going to be fun, but I also found out something else about the way YouTube does things. Another thing, then, this just recently became apparent to me that by something other YouTubers have discovered. What YouTube does, one of the reasons you guys don't get notified much is if I want to try anything new, if I want to go a new avenue on the channel, and it's something like, oh, you know, I know our community. It's like, oh, the gang's going to find this fun and funny. YouTube doesn't recommend it unless it's something that you as a user have already shown a proclivity for. So say like one of the songs. Say I do one of the songs. They're not going to show it to you unless you have if you have been running around YouTube listening to or watching original song videos. That's how fucked up they are. Instead of just saying, okay, so in other words, as a YouTuber, if you want to try a new line, a different line of things, you're screwed. Because they're not going to recommend it because, no, that's not the stuff that your people want to see. I mean, this is YouTube just constantly outthinking, I was going to say themselves, but outthinking themselves to the point where it destroys creativity. Dragon says, check last post. Alrighty. Where are you at, Dragon? Did it post, pal? I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it anywhere. Hold on, let me go through that again for Dragon. All right. Check last post. Yeah, I forgot to check your icon's still the same, just the F. Okay, guys, am I missing Dragon's last post here? I do have, yes, it is on live chat. I'm not seeing it, pal. No, I'm not seeing a post from Dragon here. If I'm missing it, guys, let me know in the chat. So I've scrolled a long way up and I don't see it here. Dragon. Where are you at, Dragon? I don't see it, pal. No, is it one of those that Susan decided to censor? Because I don't see it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Jack. He says maybe it got blocked, Dragon. I'm thinking so, pal. Dragon's post is so subtle it's actually imaginary, Jack says. Yeah, I look. Try posting it again. You might have to reword it somehow. You might have to get creative. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, Masag says sometimes my comments too won't show here. Yeah, it goes on all the time, Masag. And as I've told you guys, anytime they offer us any type of filters, I keep them turned off. I don't want things filtered for language, for anything. That's why. Again, none of us here are so soft that we can't hear what somebody has to say. If we find it overly repulsive, we'll get rid of them. No big deal. But they'd go ahead and censor the stuff anyway. Again, as I've said over and over, I don't know why they give us those options, because they're just going to censor shit anyway. Bucky says, guys, this question is for all of you. Has anyone gotten an itchy asshole after COVID vaccination? Hard for me to say, because I have an itchy asshole a lot anyway. I think it's because of some of the stuff that's gone on down there, but that's another story. But no, I personally did not. I haven't heard of that one, pal. Gabe says, I feel like that Biden voters are regretting their decision to have Biden in office. I think so. Yeah, I think some Biden voters who are genuinely independents are. The country is so completely divided right now. You got people left and right all over on social media trying to defend the indefensible, which is how he completely blew this extraction of troops from Afghanistan. Excuse me. Because it goes beyond to a lot of these people, especially the ones that are really over the top deranged about Trump. It goes so much further than just did Biden do something wrong, because they fear if they admit Biden did something wrong, that somehow emboldens Trump and Republicans. So they'd rather make themselves look completely moronic with stupid, nonsensical defenses of him, rather than say, yeah, he kind of fucked this up. Now let's hope he fixes it. Exactly, Wolf. Says, why even have the option? Just take it away. Yeah, because it asks us, you can go in, and if you want, you can, last I looked, you can filter certain words that you add, or you can let their filter work and just filter out what they think is shouldn't be seen. And of course, I keep all that shit turned off. Dragon says, I said that Askren's career realistically ended after that brutal flying knee. I doubt he'll ever be the same. I think you're right, Dragon. And the thing with Askren was, too, it was going to be tough for him to have a serious amount of longevity, just because he could only fight on the ground, which we saw in that fight against Paul. And, once opponents start realizing that, it's like, all I got to do is have good takedown defense. I'm going to beat this guy's ass. Because at some point you'll land some punches, because you have no concerns at all about his fists. As you're fighting him, you don't have to worry about him punching you. That's how weak he was. So I think it was just a matter of time with him always. Rosa said, can we make a Susan joke stream once where all the filters are turned on? Oh, jeez. Yeah. It'd be a lonely stream, Rosa. With all their filters on, it would just be me going, it says there are 54 people here, but why is there no chat? Noah says, Curtis, sorry I'm off topic. Oh, no. Again, it's Free for All Friday. Anything goes. But who do you think is a worse father? Jing from Hunter x Hunter or Goku? I say Jing. I agree. Jing. Thank you for all the laughs and positivity you provide through your videos. Well, thank you. No, Goku is not the best father, but he's much more well-intentioned than Jing. That's my take on it. I mean, Goku is ultra focused on being the most badass fighter on the planet. Jing was just focused on anything but being a father. So yeah, that one to me, I completely agree with you. Mr. Croissant says, hey Curtis, if you were a Big Mom's kid, what food-based power would you want? I'd say I'd want a taffy-based power. Also, don't be shy, Curtis. Nami cosplay soon. I would like to go to like Comic-Con or something, and just go and just be allowed into a like a lounge area where they gave special access only to all the quality female cosplayers. Yeah, exactly. Like Chrome says, Goku raised Gohan at least and has a good relationship with Goten. He's certainly never going to be Father of the Year, but right. I mean, compared to Jing, it's not even close. Jing was just like, I'm going to go off to be a hunter. And okay, you could say even that was a noble goal, but he never reached out to his kid or anything. The only thing he ever did was, I think it was because he was such a piece of shit and he knew it as a father. I think that's why he let Leo punch him in the face. Because come on, I love Leorio, but he was not going to hit Jing if Jing didn't want to be hit. Dragon says, trash talking Georgie's family probably didn't help his case very much either. No, not at all, Dragon. Nah, and he, like I said, he's such a one-trick pony that you just really couldn't expect him to stay around long, I don't think. Philip says, I hate to be that guy. We need to have a clip stream at some point. Oh, yeah, no, you're right, we do. Got a lot of clips stockpiled. I know life is kind of hectic right now. No, you're right, we do. I got to make sure. I lost my clip. I think it's working again. When I had problems with Streamlabs there, I had that, the whole clip thing set up perfectly how I wanted it, and it got removed. It was the same time, as you can see, all around me here, we don't have that little area, that little, like, picture frame that I used to be in. That I didn't mind losing. I was thinking of taking that out anyway. But the system somehow did it itself, and at that same time, it got rid of my, what do they call it here? Because I put it back. It's going to make sure it works. My media share box. And that's how we see the clips. So we will have to try it again, just because, A, those streams are fun, and B, I want to make sure we got it working again. Nacho says, Willy's Wonderland is a bizarre horror action film with haunted animatronics. It also has, even more hauntingly, a mute Nick Cage who is still more expressive than every other character. Well, is that the one, Nacho, somebody was saying about that was clearly looked to be based on, I mean, they couldn't say it obviously, but completely based on Five Nights at Freddy's? I think that was it, right? Because somebody, I think it was on here on the stream, somebody was telling me about a movie that was obviously based, and I thought they had said Nick Cage, so it's got to be it. Henry says, if you're not a big fan... Oh, I'm sorry, no. I know you're not a big fan, but Bernie honestly would have been a good prez. It's crazy how people view simple good things like free healthcare to be radical. Makes no sense from an objective view, in my opinion. Well, it only doesn't make sense if you believe in such a thing as free healthcare, Henry. There is no such thing. As soon as somebody says, whatever, free healthcare, free college, that doesn't exist. There is no such thing. And because of that, somebody's got to pay for it. And I will never believe that your best bet for paying anything is to give money to the government and let them provide it for you, because they will fuck it up, as they always do. And you will pay way, way more than you should be paying. They've destroyed Social Security. And that's the simplest thing, because Social Security is based on what you earn throughout your life. It's not flat rates. All they had to do is not touch that money as it came into them over these last several decades, and they couldn't fucking do it, and they destroyed it. No, I would completely disagree with you. But again, there's no such thing as free. So that's the objective perspective you have to look at. If it were free, if hospitals ran for free and doctors and nurses didn't need to be paid and supplies were all free, then I would say, yeah, Bernie's plan is great. Just give it to people. But it's not free. Gimster says, while it's kind of old news, Kiryu Koko's graduation stream managed to reach 490,000 viewers. She was given the title of a legend by the 5 original VTubers of HoloLive. It's a terrible day for rain. Yeah, that was, I watched it. I went back because you guys had told me about it, Gimster, about that stream. And after it had been up for a couple days, so, because when we first post streams, it takes YouTube a while to have the chat run with the stream. I went and looked, and it was stunning. I'd never seen anything like it. I watched PewDiePie streams, and it was just dwarfed what PewDiePie does. Yeah, Chrome says, well, that's the issue. You told the politician not to touch someone else's money. Now, again, that's not say that I think our system of government is the best. I don't think it's being operated at its best here in this country by any stretch. I think it has the potential to be the best, but there's too many people involved between politicians and corporations who are basically the same thing, who are, fuck off train, who are taking everything for themselves. But I think our system works if it's monitored properly and if it's run properly. Code says, speaking of Hunter x Hunter, it's been 1,001 days since the last chapter of the manga. At this, Luffy will eventually find the One Piece before the next chapter of Hunter x Hunter comes out. Yeah, God, that's the only downside to just not having the time for all the things that we'd like to do. Because, man, I just love to go rewatch Hunter x Hunter. I love that show so much. Now it's been a while too. Oh, really? Arthur says, I watched Coco early. She let me call her Oni-san. That's cool. That's really cool. Fuck that damn train indeed, Berries. Always. Always. Jack Queen says, no, America's healthcare is currently a business. As usual, there are no good options. No. Well, I think there are better options, but the biggest problem when they even talk about single payer in America, they intentionally do it. They don't even take everything into account. Things like, because they like to figure it at the Medicare rate, and you can't do that because the hospitals and care providers will tell you if they get paid for everything they do at Medicare's rates, they will go out of business. They won't be able to survive. So immediately you're going to have a major increase in what you need to cover everybody just based on that. Then you have to factor in the fact that there will be a lot more people seeking medical care. Anybody that's out working in the working world in America will tell you, you all know those fellow employees who don't want to be there and are the hypochondriac types. And most jobs will require, if you're going to miss any significant amount of time, to have a doctor's note. I know where I worked, as long as they could go to the doctor for free, they'd be out every other day or every other week at least, going to the doctor, taking up time, money, expenses because they didn't want to go to work that day. You have to figure all that stuff in because it's going to happen, and they don't. That's why it's so hard to make the numbers work as is. If you get to the reality of what it's going to cost, we would get smacked so hard with taxes. You might have people having trouble eating. That's a good one, Dragon. I haven't heard that. What do you get when you cross a rabbit and a Rottweiler? Just a Rottweiler. That's pretty good. I like that one. Hey, Freddy. He says, I'm here from your anime gumball reaction. I can say that Anais spitting her milk over Darwin looks like a hentai scene with heart eyes and all. Yeah, kinda. Anais was so freaky in that too. I love the way he drew the characters though. The characters were drawn really cool, the anime versions of them. Barry says, it's always fuck the train and fuck Boruto until I die. Two deserving targets, I would say. Yes, absolutely. LT Hennessy says, Curtis, if you could give advice to the younger generation, what would you say? I don't know. Off the top of my head, don't let people tell you can't do things. Don't let people tell you that, just what we're talking about, you need government to take care of you. As it stands right now, as unequal as the system can be sometimes, if you want to get ahead, if you want to do well for yourself, you can. The only reason you can't is if you allow somebody to make you believe that you can't. I'm not saying everybody can go out and be rich. I'm saying everybody can go out and have a nice life, just like I did. I've never been rich, never gonna be rich, but I've had a really good life. Oh, hi, Morgan. She says, I was in a meeting and now have another one. But hi, I'm glad you popped in while you could. It's always good to see your smiling face. Henry says, don't other countries in Europe, such as Norway, have free healthcare and they seem fine? No, they don't have free healthcare. They pay for theirs. Even the guys right above us, Canada, have that. Dumb how we get public education, but not public healthcare, in my opinion. But you still keep using the word free, Henry. It's not free. Have you looked at what those other countries pay in taxes? Now, you can't just look at, everybody funds their healthcare differently. You can't just look at income taxes. A lot of them it is income taxes. I believe the Dutch were the last ones I looked at, and their average, and this isn't high earners. If it's off the top of my head, I believe like a $60,000 to $70,000 a year income was taxed at like 42, 45%. Here, that would be, it depends on your situation, but more like 18 to 21. It's taxed. You're going to pay for it. You can't just say free because it's not free. They're paying for it, whether it's in income taxes, whether it's in VATs, however they do it, they have to pay for it. There's nowhere in the world where doctors and nurses and radiologists and all the staff work for free and the buildings just self-suffice without any maintenance. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're paying for it. You think it's free because it won't cost you anything in that the way you're looking at it. It's going to cost you something. If you work and be part of the system in any way, shape, or form, it's got to cost you something. There is no free. Philip says, Canadian here, and our health system isn't all you Yanks talk it up to be. And it's funny, I'm glad Philip said this because I hear this from Canadian people all the time. Of course, we're not far from Canada. We know there's Canadian people through here all the time. I hear it all the time. It's not my personal experience, so I don't relay it because it's through something someone else said. But Philip here lives it. We have the worst waiting times of any North American healthcare system, and we pay for it through high taxes, and we don't get dental. There you go. Now, again, these are things that I've heard before, but that didn't come from me, who's here in America. Philip's living it. There is no such thing as free. Arthur makes a really good point there. Public education is why you don't want public health. That's an excellent point, Arthur. It truly is. Something is important in your healthcare. You might want it to be run certainly better and more efficiently than our public education system is. Good point, Arthur. Dragon says, the other day I took my grandma to one of those fish spas where the fish eat your dead skin. It was way cheaper than having her buried in a cemetery. Dude, what the fuck? I haven't heard that one before either. That is so fucking twisted. Oh, that's a good one, Dragon. Brother Malachi says, oh, okay, here we go. Also, Denmark had to go back to partially privatizing their medicine again because it was too expensive, not, quote, in quotes, free. I mean, and again, you guys know I'm careful. I try not to talk on topic. If I'm not really comfortable with the information and I only know surface or ancillary details, I won't go into it because first of all, it's not fair because I might be stating something wrong. So I'm glad that you guys are up on this stuff because I have heard and read that there are countries that have a single payer healthcare type of system that are in a lot of financial trouble because of it. Wolverine says, check last post. All right, hold on. Let me see Wolverine's last one. Only good thing about Boruto is that the legacy characters were voiced by most of, if not all of their original VAs. Were they, Wolverine? I didn't know that. Fuck off, Train. I didn't know that, pal. Were they? That is a good thing. Purple Unicorn says, why would I spend the money it costs to get vaxxed when I can use that money to buy DVDs and other stuff on eBay? Because it doesn't cost anything to get vaxxed, pal. I mean, whether you do or not doesn't mean anything to me, but it's free. No, Purple Unicorn says, boycott the vax. Save your money to buy stuff you need. Capitalism. Behold my stuff. Again, I don't know where you got your information, but the vaccine is entirely free. You can just walk in to most drugstores in America now and just go get vaccinated. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Leprechaun Vic. He says, I got COVID. He or she. I got COVID. Hope you're doing well, though. I hope your symptoms are not too severe. I hope it doesn't amount to much for you, pal. That's the thing that sucks about it, too, is it's just such a goddamn crapshoot with how severe your symptoms are going to be. You know what's similar? Has always struck me has a similar take is when guys would do steroids, or women, but mostly guys did steroids. Steroids are weird because some people can take them their whole life and have really no ill effects. And other people, like Quick Draw Rick McGraw, ends up having his heart explode while bench pressing and dies. It seems, COVID's similar in that respect that once you get it, or in the case of steroids, once you use them, you just don't know what it's going to do to you. Yeah, Chrome says vaccines are free in the U.S. from what I know. Yeah, you're 100% right, Chrome. They are. Again, you can just go into the pharmacy and get your vaccine. We do need what Trump wanted, though, price transparency. Oh, overall, Arthur, yeah, and that's the thing. Listen, I am all for, as far as the pharmaceutical companies, trust me, believe me, you want those people to make a lot of money. You want brilliant minds going into that field because that's how things like these advances, such as this mRNA vaccine, get made. Whether you believe in taking it or not, or getting the shot or not, it's still just a monumental medical breakthrough. But there can be limits to that too. And specific, so in other words, these pharmaceutical companies, if they put $50 million into developing research and development for a drug, they deserve to get that back and then make a nice profit. What they don't deserve is to have a drug that they've long since, and this has happened a number of times, that they've had on the market for years and runs at X price point. Say it's $20 for a prescription. And then they find out that it has another use cosmetically and rich people want it. And then it becomes $2,000 for a prescription. No, that's the stuff that should be criminal. I mean, fortunately, some people like the Farmer Bro have gone to prison for it, and they should. So it's like I say, it's a tight wire walk. There is a lot of excess in the pharmaceutical industry, but you don't want to cut them back to where the brilliant minds go elsewhere, because you do want those minds there. You want them to be able to make a nice living. Mr. Ho says, just here to recommend a movie. Pig 2021? Genuinely my favorite movie of the year so far. Really? It's equal parts melancholy and sweet. Nick Cage again. Nick Cage gives one of his best performances in recent memory. I haven't even heard of that one, Mr. Host. Usually, even if even if I haven't seen a movie, I'd heard of it. I haven't heard that. I'll have to look that up. Pig. Should be easy. Well, I say it should be easy enough to remember. I'll forget. Henry says, don't call me a dumb commie, Curtis. I wouldn't call you a dumb commie, Henry. No, you're very respectful with the way. That's all I ask of people if they want to have conversation about things. And you always have been. Is just, be respectful. I'll be respectful back. We just see it differently. But that's the important thing to remember is no matter which way you believe, how you think our healthcare should be handled. The one thing that is an undeniable fact is nothing is free. It's just a matter of figuring out how to go about paying for it. Gimster says, my latest check is $3,191.66 with $1114.28 taken off due to taxes. Yikes, and union dues. We get taxed to hell on everything everywhere. We can go broke just getting smokes, gasoline, and food. That tough, Gimster? Gimster, for any of you who don't know, Gimster's Canadian as well. Yikes. Holy crap. See, I can't compare that. I don't know how often you're paid, Gimster. I could give you an idea of how close that is to American tax rates, but I don't know if that, because it's a big difference. If you're only paid every other week or twice a month, it would be a different amount withheld than if you if that was a weekly check. Dragon says, how can you tell your acne is really starting to get out of hand? The blinds start reading your face. Dragon, you're on a roll today. These are pretty good. I like these. These are good. Excuse me. Barry says, here in America, the vaccine is more than free. We're paid in Krispy Kreme donuts to get the vaccine. You're right. You're right. There's been a lot of incentives offered, including like Krispy Kreme donuts to get the vaccine. Yeah, that's true, Barry's. It's beyond free. You can actually, you can actually turn a profit doing it. Aren't some communities, didn't they actually start paying people to get? I think they did. Some smaller areas paid people to get the vaccine. Henry says, it's crazy to me how stuff as simple as water, which is the base of all life, comes with a bill. The rich up top have all the dollars in the world, and they still want to suck all the poor people dry. I hate to disagree with you again, Henry, but the only reason you are more than welcome to go out and, I mean, especially around here, we got all kinds of creeks and rivers and stuff. there's nothing to stop you from going out and getting your own water. The reason water costs money is because it goes through a filtration plant. And again, somebody's got to pay for that. The filtration plants work 24/7, 365. People have to maintain them. You're paying for the chemicals that go in to make your drinking water safe. Again, I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm just explaining that's you are more than welcome. There's no law against you going out to a stream and taking buckets of water, barrels of water if you want, as long as it's not it's not on private property. There's no law against you doing that, but you pay for your water because the government entities are taking actions that cost them money to make the water consumable for you, safer for you. Still highly, Cheap Jump Scare says, still highly recommend Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I gotta remember that, Cheap Jump Scare. Hold on. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Evil. I'm just looking at the cast right now. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, guys. Got to close my nose. I like that. I like the movie poster of it. I'll have to bookmark that just so I can read up on it more. I got the IMDb page here. Let me bookmark it. Just so I can read up on it more later. Like I said, I like the movie poster alone got my attention. True, like Arthur says, pay to dig and process a well, like me, free water. Yeah, I mean, in fairness, water, it is and can be free. It's just if you want drinking water brought to your house, there's a lot of money that goes involved in that process. Yeah, Chrome says it's the same line of argument of people who think food comes from the supermarket. Right, Chrome? Right, 100%. That's what I mean. It's like I say, that's why the things like yeah, I lost. No, there's a surprise. I lost my train of thought. It'll come back to it. Let's see. David says we'll be paying for air soon. Well, that's entirely possible depending on how many pollutants we get out in there. But like I said, water, you don't have to pay for water by any stretch. Philip says it's the opposite up here. Instead of offering the carrot, we're getting threatened with the stick. There was an article in the Toronto Star calling for death to the unvaccinated. I'm vaxxed, but this is insane. Yeah, I'm vaxxed too, and yeah, I agree with you. That's entirely insane. What the fuck? And it comes back to that same thing, Philip. You and I talk about it all the time. I mean, everybody around the world now are just in such different camps. It's always got to be us versus them, no matter what the issue is. Cheap Jump Scare says, fun law, collecting rainwater is illegal in Arizona. Get out of here. Is it really? Now, how do they, I wonder how they probably never tried to enforce it. Because how would, if it's written like you say, Cheap Jump Scare, rainwater, pretty much all water is rainwater at some point. So wait, right. So maybe they're saying if you're collecting it as it falls from the sky, why the fuck would that be? There are so many. I've read a bunch of those articles and shit about weird laws that have remained on the books in certain states and stuff. And there's all kinds of weird shit like that where you can't even imagine what the impetus was for it initially. Arthur says, I'm not vaxxed, but I have guns. Come get me. Yeah, I mean, that's just insanity. If you're unvaxxed, you gotta die. Listen, and it would be different. And you guys know, I'm vaccinated. I'm a big proponent of the vaccines. But come on, let's be real. If this was a vaccine that was a death sentence as it spread, you'd need a certain different, stricter set of rules. It's not. And there is, now we found out too, Israel just came out and was saying that their studies are showing that the antibodies you get from, this just came out, the antibodies you get from having the virus are 13 times more effective than the ones you get from the vaccine. Now, before anybody gets too carried away with that, though, the smart thing would still be to get the vaccine, because that way we know you can still get the virus, but there's less chance of you getting really sick from it, and you'll still be able to develop those antibodies. But that was surprising when they said 13 times. That surprised me. Yeah, it is, David. Death to the unvaccinated. That's some Adolf Hitler shit right there. That's exactly what that is. And I'm not somebody who takes, that's the in thing now is whenever you disagree with somebody, to call them a Nazi. But you're 100% right. That's Hitlerish right there. That's exactly what that is. Jake says Little League World Series doesn't have international teams this year, so regionals second place filled those spots, and the Final Four consists. Oh, what is the Final Four now? I've been watching a lot of that. West number 1 versus GL number 1, and Midwest number 2 versus GL number 2. Oh, Great Lakes. Okay, I didn't know which one. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I saw that kid. Oh, where the hell was he from? That left-hander the other night, Jake? That kid. They have a kid in the Little League World Series that he's pitched, I don't remember how many innings, but through the entire tournament, he's allowed 1 hit. It's like, what the fuck? This kid, holy shit. Tall, skinny left-hander. And that kid throws some nasty shit. He's got to be, 12? He could possibly be 13, depending on when his birthday was, if it was late enough. And he's throwing nasty breaking stuff, locating everything perfectly, throwing in the mid-70s. Jesus Christ. It was phenomenal to watch. I just happened to turn it on. I was so glad I did. It was fun watching that kid pitch. You can look up, if you guys want to see anything about it, I'm sure if you put Little League pitcher, no-hitter, or anything like that, it'll pop right up. That kid is amazing. Hey, Jaden, man. Well, thank you. I like the poop emoji. Come on. Dragon says Arizona also has a law that says you can't have more than 2 dildos in your house. What the hell? That's not fair. Because that means I could only have one other besides me. What the fuck? Oh, that's the best. Jay Meister says, so hyped for Spider-Man No Way Home. I think Strange up to no good. Jay Meister, I got to go watch the prior one. That one completely slipped by me. I wanted to see it, the prior Spider-Man. And just one of those things I never got around to. But now, that trailer, the new one, looks so good that I definitely want to see that one. But I got to go back and watch the other one first. No Code? Never watched Little League in a minute? I love watching I love baseball anyway. The only thing I don't like about watching the Little League World Series in the tournament is somebody's got to lose, and they're kids, man. It hurts me watching because you'll see kids crying and stuff, and all they put into it, and only one team is going to finish with a win. And so that's sad, but I do like watching it. Socialists are coming, says California Dems are going crazy because of the governor recall. Guy got caught with hundreds of ballots for Newsom in his car while passed out on hard drugs. GOT might win by default. I got to look that up. I didn't see that story. Socialists are coming. I got to admit, when they first got the recall instituted, I was like, okay, that's cool, but it's mostly for optics because they're not getting rid of Newsom. But I'm not 100% sure anymore. I think it's still a long shot to get rid of him, but it's a shot. They have a chance. And at first, I didn't think they did. Krusty Bomb says, wait, the Arizona law about dildos. What would it consider a preserved Stiffy Harden next to a dildo? I don't know. A lot of those, what? There's a lot of those laws that the most interesting part of them would being somebody enforce them. David says, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man You Can't Go Home, Spider-Man Home Alone. Nice, David. Yeah. Cover it all. And in Spider-Man Home Alone, he's got to do this at some point. Barry says, I've had about 18 doses of the vaccine this month. And how many donuts have I gotten? 17. I didn't go yesterday because I developed 18 penises overnight. Anyone want an extra one? $50 each or $40 in bulk? Oh, give me I'll take the bulk option. I can use all the help I can get. Austria Play says, bro, I love your videos because you. Well, thank you. That's kind of you to say. You make videos so good with your sympathy and that nice smile. You're a really born entertainer. Keep up the good work. Like to watch you. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Very nice of you to say. Spaz Dev says, I watched the new American Horror Story season yesterday and it was amazing. I have a friend that's way into that, keeps telling me I got to watch it. I do too have friends. Not many, but well, I got you guys. Oh well, let me finish this. It's The Shining with drug vampires and Macaulay Culkin. Oh, I didn't know Macaulay Culkin was in it. Yeah, again, I have a friend that's real high on it. But that's what it's funny because in my real life, I don't want to make this sound uh, other than what it is. I don't have a lot of close friends, but that's by design. That's just who I am. I enjoy time with my family, and I'm just the type of person that to spend extended amounts of time with other people is not something I'm typically all that into on a personal level. So there's very few people I enjoy, and that's why my wife says it all the time. She's so amazed because every day I'm talking about our streams or things that went on the Goose, things that went on the channel, and she says it's like you've got such a solid connection to the people at your YouTube channel and at the Goose and everything. She says, and that connection doesn't exist here. I said, but you got to understand, I'm with these people all the time and I get to know them. These are the type of people that if I could just surround myself with you guys, I would like hanging out with people. She can't understand the fact that it's not just chance. We find each other on YouTube or on the internet because we have similar interests. And even like we got people in here today, we're having back and forth. That even though we think completely opposite politically on something, I still consider it similar interests because we're both able to have a conversation and not be dicks to one another. And that's the most important thing to share. So it is kind of cool for me. I mean, and I don't say this to butter you guys up or anything. You guys are my close friends. I have a couple that are very, very close to us, are close friends. And then I have family members. And then I have a lot of acquaintances. I have a lot of good friends. But you guys are the ones that I prefer to spend all my time hanging out with. Chief Jumpscare says, final one before I gotta go get food. Fun law. It is illegal to push a moose out of an airplane in Alaska, which means someone must have done it. I'm wondering, Jumpscare, that's the thing. Where do they come up with this shit? Like Jumpscare says, somebody had to have done it. How drunk do you have to be to coerce a moose into getting into an airplane just so you can shove his big dumb ass out? I mean, I understand a lot of times there's not a lot to do in Alaska, so getting really drunk would probably be a good outlet, but goddamn. Oh, very. Chrome says you don't have many friends, but the ones you do have, you develop a strong bond. Extremely strong. Yeah, you're right. And that's true for you guys too. I mean, it's not for sure. You guys have seen over the time, and I know I get over the top with it. I know it makes some people feel uncomfortable, so I try and choke it down a little bit. But it's one thing, I choose to put myself on here. I'm out here for public consumption. Consume me. So if people want to come in and say stupid shit, I'll give them shit back. But I'm not gonna, unless you're just completely derailing everything. I'm not gonna block you from being here or whatever. I'll fucking fight with you. I'll argue with you. Go back and forth. But when we have people come in here and go at one of you guys, who I do consider my friends, then I snap. And you guys have seen it, and what you see of me reacting to them, that's the tamped down version. Because I know it makes a lot of people who are important to me here uncomfortable when I get really mean. But that immediately, it's just like if it's a face-to-face confrontation and somebody really infuriates me and you go to that black spot, that's what it's like when somebody comes in here and comes at one of you guys. And it's like, I'm going to do my best to talk no jutsu you to where you're borderline suicidal after it. It just pisses me off that much. But that's what I have to tap down because I don't like making people feel bad. So when we all meet up in hell, in the halls of hell, dines a little demonic gamer, can I get amazingly cool armor made out of demon bones and lava rocks? I sure as hell hope so. There better be a lot of cool shit down there. Mr. King of Negativity says, let's consume Curtis. Consume me. Feed. Cheap Jump Scare says, P.S. I heard the one they pushed was Bullwinkle. That'd be okay with me. That was, again, I've always been a cartoon freak. That was another one that I didn't even care for. I even like Scooby-Doo. I was not a Scooby-Doo fan. I told you guys that. But I like Scooby-Doo better than Bullwinkle and Rocky. They got boring. And then you had Natasha and Boris. At first, they were kind of cool, and then they got old. Yeah, I never liked that one. Yeah, so go ahead, push Bullwinkle out. Austria Plays says, funny story. I just came to you because of those Skyrim poop reactions. Oh my God, those are funny. Your reaction was so insane, I laughed more with your reaction than the actual video. Now I just enjoy your videos. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But yes, those were fucking hysterical. Oh my God, they were funny. Mr. King of Negativity says, you're making me soft, Curtis. I have that. I have that effect on people. I make a lot of people soft. Tyler says, imagine seeing a moose falling out of the sky would be hilarious until it ends up crushing both your legs and it falls on you. Well, Philip's in here. We can ask him now. That was a Canadian law, wasn't it? Or no, wait, was it American? I forgot who said that was a law. No, it was a law here in the States. That's right. It wasn't Gimster, I don't think. I was going to say, if it's a Canadian law, we'll ask Philip how often, how often do the moose come flying out of the sky? Gimster says, Strange Law in BC, it is illegal to try and hunt and end Sasquatch. And I think it's also illegal to hide fish in your coat. Strange. Hide fish. Well, what if the fish is being, like the fish is being tracked by the mafia fish? You can't even hook them up? Alaskan, that's what it was. Okay, thank you, Philip. I forgot who had said it. No, too bad. I was gonna ask you, Philip. Is that something that's? Do we have any Alaskans up here? That might be a problem up there too. Maybe we're making fun of it, and these people are running around with like moose umbrellas. Rick says, "Wait, did they steal my moose cannon idea? Shit, how else am I supposed to break into bedrooms?" I hadn't heard that one, Hector. What about the walk backwards while eating peanuts on Wednesdays one? That would be one. If that's against the law, you got to try that, don't you? What could be the penalty? Walking backwards while eating peanuts on a Wednesday. I would have to do it just to see if they got the excuse me, if they got the balls to back up that law. Good point. Philip says, Alaskan, it's okay. It's easy to get the two confused since based on location, it should be part of Canada. You're 100% right, yeah. Henry says they think socialism and communism are the same thing. Well, no, they're not the same thing. Many times socialism has led to communism, but you're right, they're not the same thing. Last post, Barry says, I believe you'd like it. All right, let me go check Barry's post. Let's see if Susan actually let it go through. There it is. All right, so what I'm hearing from Thai family stuff is there's an open possibility of drinks and 5 guys at your house while live reactions to all the Boruto filler episodes. Say yes or I don't know. So there's an open possibility of drinks and 5 guys at your house while live reaction to all the Boruto filler episodes. I'm not a drinker at all. I don't drink. I'd be willing, if everybody is over 21, to supply some booze. Never a problem to get the 5 guys. We ain't watching that goddamn Boruto filler or otherwise. Lick says it can't be any less absurd than all the licenses you need to do the most mundane shit in the UK, not to mention all the absurd police confiscations. Really, Licks? I didn't know the red tape was that extreme there. Huh. Philip says, was the 2 dildo law come into effect because some chick choked on one while she had 2 more up her ass and vag? We can only assume, Philip. That seems like something. Now before the Great Purge, we probably could have gone to Pornhub and found out. We probably could have found the video that caused it, but now they ruined it. Excuse me. Wolverine says it needs to be legal to hunt Karens to extinction. What the fuck? Maximus has got a good one. I don't remember where, but there was a law against kicking a fire hydrant with your left foot on a Sunday. If that were the case here, I'd be out there making a video on Sunday of just me standing over a fire hydrant going, you wait till tomorrow, motherfucker. Guys, I gotta go. This was an wow. It's Free for All Friday. It's always an awesome stream. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here. Thanks for having fun with me. God damn, this makes my day. This was such a good time. My wife and I were talking about that too. She talks about that, how I get all jacked up every Friday, and she's like, especially with what I do, because I make the videos. That's what I do for a living. And she's like, I get up the same time. I get up 5:30, 7 days a week to do my thing. And she said that to me before. She'll be like, well, why do you get jacked up for Friday? It's not like you take weekends off. It's like, no, you don't understand. It's Free for All Friday. So given that, we all know how high quality the sticky stuff is. Oh, and this is sticky stuff. Katakuri, great villain, but he's starting to piss me off that he thinks his sticky stuff's so awesome. This is the good shit. Wait till you guys get this, and then take a look at Katakuri's. You'll be like, bitch, please. Because here it comes. Pampu Pampu, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you. It's Free for All Friday, sticky stuff for everybody. Because we'll bang, okay? Flashlight like Buggy. And as always, most importantly, oh yeah, it's fucking superior to Katakuri's. Goose, 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 goose. Goose. Goose, goose indeed, Gimster.